If you have to put your hands on a woman, if you got to put your hand on a bitch, if you got to put your hands on your woman or your girl or whoever, she is not the one. A woman who loves you, a woman who cares about you, a woman who for you wouldn't push you to that point. Now, it's not her fault that you got to that point. So we can't, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, well, if she wouldn't have pushed him to that point, no, that's not what we're doing. But a woman who's about you wouldn't even want you to be mad or angry or in a negative, low vibrational state. You see what I'm saying? If she pushed you to that point, if she's disrespectful to you to where you get angry like that, or if she's not following your lead to where you get angry like that, number one, you need to work on yourself and ask yourself why you get so angry about stuff like that. And number two, she's just not it. You know, you are responsible for your peace. And so if, you know, she ain't following your program, why is she in your life? Because you can't, what I want you guys to understand is you can't control people with force for too long. You just can't. You can only, a country can only subjugate a nation or whatever, the ruling class can only subjugate militarily for so long before the people start to rise up against what they deem the oppressors. Look at all of these countries in the Middle East and Africa and all these places, Haiti, even some Eastern European countries. These places, the way that they rule is almost by force, right? It's militarily. And I'm saying that to say that when you do that, the people always buck. Even here, we don't typically, even we buck here, you know, certain, you know, segments of society, they even buck back at the police because, you know, the police in certain communities be on some bullshit. I come from these communities where the police be on bullshit. And so a lot of people that's from, you know, different areas or from the suburbs, that's not your experience with the police. You have no fucking idea how the police be doing. And so these people buck back at them. But even then, they only go so far because, you know, this country does a good job at pacifying you. So although you may be bad that your homeboy got shot in the back by the police and you go tear some shit up, you don't want to go too far because, you know, you want to go back to your baby mama and your pussy and your PS5 and you smoke your weed and, you know, get back to your trapping or get back to your job or whatever, your comfortable life. So the people here don't tear it up too much. But in certain places, they go all the way and overthrow the shit, burn the whole country down and all that shit. I said all that to say is when you force people, when you forcefully on people, they will rebel at some point. They will rise up at some point. It's all about controlling the mind. I'm going to give you guys an analogy, and you heard it from King Dre first, right? You have to use the way Western societies seduce its population. You have to seduce your population like that. Freedom, right? You have to seduce your women like that. You have to control, I don't even want to say control, but you have to influence and you have to put your program down on your women like that. Freedom, right? Like me. My woman can do whatever she want to do, but there's rules, there's guidelines, and there's boundaries. If you violate, you gotta go, right? Freedom. You can do what you want to do. I don't tell you what to do. I don't tell you what to wear, no nothing, but I got rules, I got guidelines, I got boundaries. America, freedom, right? You can say what you want to say. You can do what you want to do, but it's rules and it's regulations, right? And for a country to be so free, which we do have a lot of freedoms that a lot of places don't have, for a country to be so free, we are damn near one of the most regulated places on earth. You can't even drive 5 over the speed limit is a fucking rule. You can't even drive 5 over the speed limit without getting a ticket. You don't pay your taxes, you going to jail. You spit on the sidewalk, you jaywalk. You don't have car insurance. You fucking still out of the stove. You're too loud in public. You can't drink on the fucking thing. You can't drink and drive. You can't smoke weed in public. Weed illegal. All this old shit. But we free, right? Right? If you ask people who are the freest people in the nation, and everybody who has the nations who have the most patriotism tend to have the most free, like the operate under the guise of freedom. This is why everybody, even Cubans and these people will get on a raft with 50 people and travel all across the Atlantic Ocean. I think that's the Atlantic Ocean. I don't want to sound like one of them dumb hoes on Fresh and Fit. I think it's the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. Whatever that ocean is from between Florida and in the Caribbean. Not the Gulf of Mexico, but maybe the Atlantic Ocean. Whatever ocean that is, they get on a raft, a fucking raft, to leave where they from and risk losing their lives to get here, for freedom, right? So you have to put that same type of game down on your woman. You got to put that same type of ism down on your woman. Freedom. You can do what you want to do, baby, but it's rules and there's guidelines. And women want to feel free, but they also want boundaries and guidelines because to them that makes you feel safe. Look at America. Look at this country. I'm not going to say you feel super safe in certain neighborhoods, but you feel safer knowing that if somebody break in your house, the police going to come shoot them in the back. You feel safer knowing if somebody break in your house, you can call the police and they going to come do something about it, right? You feel comfortable knowing that there's a law against people breaking in your car and those people probably will be prosecuted and you could probably file an insurance claim and get your stuff back. If you was in a country where this criminal element existed and there was no rules, you would not feel safe. So although you have the freedom to make you feel free, you do appreciate the boundaries and the laws of this country. This is why Americans, people from America, are the most patriotic people ever. And the people from If you look at the things that people from around the world say about Americans, they pretty much think we have a foolish loyalty to this country. They say, oh, these guys put the flag every fucking where. It's just like very proud, because this country affords us the ability and allows us to grow and be who we want to be, just so long as, you stay within the guidelines and, you do it responsibly. So you have to put your game down on your woman like that. I should have charged you motherfuckers for that, but I'm not. I just gave you that game for free. So if you need help figuring out how to implement some shit like that, then you join the Players Club at playersclub.vip. But that's King Dre's program, freedom with boundaries. You know what I'm saying? There's law and order over here, but you free to do what you want to do. You free to say what you want to say. It's going to be consequences if you disrespect me. You free to think how you want to think. You free to express yourself emotionally, all of that. You have the space to do all of that, but there's guidelines and there's boundaries, and my woman loves it. She loves that. So as most women will, I don't control or try to influence my woman with my fist. I do it here and here. That's the key. If you got to beat on her, she's not the one. And that's only going to last for so long until she rises up against you. And it might not be to fight you back physically, but as you can see, there's a whole system designed for them to rise up against you, and they have the support of the 40 million women and however many million women in this country, but not even 40, 200 million women in this country. You got a platform, you have a whole 200 million women against you and a whole system. So I'm saying that to say, keep your hands to your motherfucking self. Learn the game so you can influence your woman and get inside of your woman's mind so you don't have to beat on her and control her with your fist. People can only take so much physically. I'm telling you, even emotionally abusing. You guys don't have that spirit of game in you. You got to get the spirit of game in you. So you ain't got to be on some bullshit like that. And that's what he on. He ain't got that spirit of game in him. I wish guys like that would come into my world and I coach them. And I could have, man, with that, I could have you, man, you have a bitch eating out off your toes, wanting to wake up to eat off your toes. So, as my guy Lucario and my guy Miles, as they would say, if you can't lead her, leave her. Fellas, I have a free class coming up that's going to teach you the 3 keys to seduce any woman. You do not want to miss this. This is going to take your game to the next level. If you're a guy who struggles to keep women around, if you're a guy who struggles to make it out of the honeymoon phase of dating, 3 to 6 months and then she going ghost. If you're a guy who struggles to maintain attraction and attention, this is for you. If you're a guy who struggles to maintain a rotation of women, this is for you. If you tired of getting treated less than and getting treated like an option and you want to be treated like a king, this class is for you. If you want to experience the pleasure that comes from a woman who's truly in love with you and open for you, you do not want to miss this. 3 keys to seduce any woman. Click the link in the bio or the description.